Well, hello and welcome to another fun-filled edition of Adam's Music Box. And although not necessarily an event that you might associate with music, this year's Summer Olympic Games in Paris will have a very interesting musical connection. And this is that Snoop Dogg, one of the best rappers ever, is going to carry the Olympic torch. Now, in and of itself, this means several things. Viewership of the Olympics has been very touch and go lately, and the Olympics has been accused of things like corruption, failing to move with the times, failing to consider the sensitivities of human rights activists, failure to treat all countries equally. And it goes without saying that a lot of host cities of the Olympics don't actually like it because most businesses and the economy in general tends to lose a lot of money. In fact, the only modern Olympics that didn't lose money in a huge way was LA in 1984 because they brought in corporate sponsorships, and the Olympic Committee couldn't really say much after the 1980 Olympics in the Soviet Union resulted in a boycott of many nations. Of course, the nations that were boycotted there boycotted in 84, and it all gets a bit crazy. So, having someone like Snoop Dogg will definitely lighten the atmosphere, but there's actually a bigger and more interesting story. The Olympics used to be a lot more diverse in terms of the events than it is today. In fact, when the Olympics was reintroduced as an international event, as opposed to just a pan-Hellenic event as it was in the ancient world, when this happened at the end of the 19th century, the Olympics had events that featured the arts. In fact, between the late 19th century revival of the Olympics and the early 1950s, medals were given gold, silver, bronze, and all the rest of it for music, for painting, sculpture, literature, and architecture, in addition to the traditional sporting events. So that was something that really differentiated the Olympics of the late 19th and early 20th century from what we've seen more recently. It really was intended to be a kind of celebration of all sorts of creative and athletic achievements. And I really think we ought to get back to that if the Olympics still has a place in the 21st century. And I'm not sure if it does. I think the stench of corruption has just made it a bit ugh. But obviously, Snoop Dogg will bring a bit of fun to it. But if he were to actually light the Olympic flame with a joint, that might be even more fun. But um, well, I think all the athletes are on different kinds of drugs anyway, and those drugs give you an advantage. The thing Snoop Dogg is on gives you a distinct athletic disadvantage, so maybe he should be given a head start. But in any case, I think it would be great if we're to have an Olympics at all to have a more diverse set of events, have things like poetry and architecture and music, and have Guinness Book of World Records things, have the world's tallest man and the world's shortest man, see who can run around faster, just something to make it a bit more fun, something to make it a bit more lively because it has got stale. So, congratulations to Snoop for doing at least something to help the Olympics to return to its roots when it was about something a bit more than it is today. Like, subscribe, and we will see you next time. Take care.